You're looking at championship court right now, and you are looking at what is about to be a terrific match here. K.Yates and J.Farias taking on C.Johns and A.Stone. And one of the things I want to draw your attention to here, this is just a couple minutes before first serve, is look at the number of balls each player is hitting in this short period of time. I'm shooting some of my own video kind of highlighting this for later. Is one of the things that the pros do really well is they maximize the number of touches that they can get in a short period of time. So you're going to see here, one, players being consistent, keeping the ball in play to make sure that they're not wasting time having to pick balls up. And two is that you'll often see that they will hustle. If the ball does sort of get away from them, they're going to hustle to go get it so they can continue that exchange. And this is something that regardless of what level player you are, you can do as well, is try to see here C.Johns hustling to get that ball back as a rally. K.Yates does the same thing. And what they're trying to do here is just maximize the number of touches, make sure that they get the feel that they want when that first serve happens. Another thing to note is the variety of shots they're playing. You're not seeing a ton of dinks being hit right now. You will see some, of course, but they know that the shots that they're going to be challenged with are going to be these fastballs hit hard at them, and they need to be able to get that ball back in the court and out of harm's way, preferably with a low ball. So you're going to see here that these players are hitting a lot of balls from right up close, timing the ball, making sure the reflexes are sharp. And right here you're going to see K.Yates and J.Farias hit a few serves back and forth, as well as that return, because those first two shots are so critical. How well you hit those first two shots really influence how the rest of it's going to go. And so again, you don't have to play like a pro to warm up like one. You too can maximize the touches you're going to get in a short period of time and make sure that you hit all the shots you're going to need. Look where J.Farias is standing, slightly on C.Johns' side to make sure he can genuinely hit a cross-court serve. This is going to be a great match, and you're going to want to make sure that your friends can see it too. So be sure to hit that share button. Let people know what you're watching, give them a chance to join in on the fun. This is a main draw match here at the Mesa PPA Grand Slam Qualifier. I'm your host, Mark Renison. We're bringing you this stream from Pro Pickleball Media with assistance from Mr. Steve Taylor from Digital Spatula. And the quality of the broadcast right here, between the video and the audio, that's thanks to our friends over at Logitech. Make top-notch equipment that allows us to share the great action here in Mesa. Reminder that this is a great tournament, but this is just one in a series of great tournaments that the PPA is going to be running over the course of the year. 7 stops, more than $550,000 in prize money. And with 1 minute to go before first serve, we're going to give some love to the people that make this tournament possible in this whole tour. So we're going to be back in a second with more from Mesa. Mark Renison here. First serve coming up next.
People have this conception that pickleball, oh, that's an old person sport, but I don't think they realize how physically demanding it is with those quick bursts and long, grueling points. The first U.S. Open, I found myself cramping in 2 different events. When you start cramping, it's too late. And when I first started playing, I wasn't ready for that. The biggest difference I feel on the court with Jigsaw products is I'm not cramping at all. It gives you that mental confidence that your body's going to hold up. Jigsaw products will provide a lot of value to you both on and off the court.
All right, Colin Johns is about to serve here. This is the best 2 out of 3 match. All right, first serve coming up, 0-0-2. Colin Johns in the blue, serving to his counterpoint. This is going to make it fun. We got blue and black on both sides. I'll help you make sure you know who's who in case some of these players aren't that familiar to you. K.Yates so good. Oh, that was an interesting move. I'll talk about it in a second. So really interesting. You saw K.Yates, that ball dribbled off the top of the net. He got there, no problem, played it back up, and anticipated it was going to be a cross-court return. So you saw him set up almost on the outside of the court so he could use his forehand to attack that. Speaking of forehand attack, that's a nice example of one right there. All right, so J.Farias is serving out of Tucson, Arizona. Joey goes for the down-the-line counterattack on the forehand side. It squeaks just a little bit wide. Colin Johns is going to return serve here, and he's got a long way to go to get to that right side. He, of course, is speedy enough to get there. This is something to watch for this match. These players are so good at hitting the ball tight to the net that it's often going to dribble over like that. We already saw once where Yates handled it well, another one here where Colin Johns did. So watch for those. If you're a player at home, one of the things that you're seeing is that these players expect every ball to come over the net. And so they're not surprised when that ball touches and then dribbles. And so that lack of surprise, that expectation of the little dribbler will make it much easier for them to get to that ball. And very often I know when I'm coaching players who are not quite this skilled, they almost seem surprised when the ball catches over the net. So again, that assumption that the worst is going to happen, that assumption that that ball is going to just catch the top of the tape. Adam Stone with a good forehand counterattack there. Yates' backhand goes into the net, and Adam Stone feels fired up that he won that head-to-head contest against Yates. 5-0-2. Gotta think that this is about as good of a start as Johns and Stone could hope for. 0-5-1, J.Farias serving. That was the dribbler. You could see Yates kept going forward, expecting that ball to come over. Even though it didn't, there's nothing lost. He would have got to that ball if it did, and he got a few extra steps for his pedometer. Colin Johns finds the right place to put that ball. One of the things that really impresses me, I mean, there are many things that impresses me about all these players. K.Yates uses what's called an Eastern forehand grip. That's where his hand is slightly behind the paddle when he's hitting his forehand. Well, that's a really strong forehand position. If you use that same grip on the backhand side, it's less strong because now your hand is in front of the handle between the paddle and the net, and that's not a typically very strong position to be in. So you see K.Yates jump the corner for that put away. But Yates is so good at adjusting the angle of his paddle, rolling his wrist over, and strong on that side that he can still attack off that backhand and still play these little backhand dinks with a fair bit of topspin. I bet we'll see one here in a moment. There's an example there of that strong forehand, but can't quite get into the strong enough hitting position on the backhand side. 6-2-2, Colin Johns, A.Stone continuing to build on their lead here. And with that ball that doesn't dribble over the net, that's going to be 7-2-2. Great start here for Johns and Stone. Again, this is a pattern we've seen a few times already. Stone going head-to-head with Yates. He's come out on top more often than not, Stone has. He attacks at J.Farias, who defends it well, gets the ball back low, and Johns puts the ball in the net. 2-6-1. Again, here's that pattern between Yates and Stone. It's that little rolling backhand we talked about. This time Yates is choosing to use a little bit of backspin, and all of a sudden, few unforced errors from K.Yates. A.Stone's got to be happy with the direction things are going here, and that's a tough serve. Well handled by Colin Johns. J.Farias finds the seam, puts that ball right through the middle. It's going to bring up 3-7-2. Another good deep serve from Yates. Makes it tough for A.Stone to get in position in time. And what you'll see from these players is when they're on the receiving end of a deep serve like that forces them to play the ball well behind the baseline, is they will often hit the ball a little bit higher than usual, so it takes longer to get to the other side. Remember, the players have to let the ball bounce, and that'll give them ample time to get up to that non-volley line where they can apply some pressure. Often you're not helped out when the ball touches the net, but in that case, A.Stone was set up a little bit higher than expected. We're going to have a quick break, a little hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good, and we'll be back with more from Mesa.
It's no secret, I lose so many electrolytes when I play. Eventually, I either start cramping or I run out of gas.
Electrolyte Supreme gives me enough energy and hydration.
They prevent cramps, and what's really important to me, they help me to recover quicker.
I know I can push myself a little bit more and not have to worry about cramps.
I feel better, I feel good, and it's fun to feel good.
We're feeling great, we're energized, and we're ready to have a great day, right, Lucy?
And it's fun to feel good.
Delivering to J.Farias. A.Stone delivering to J.Farias. There's going to be another point for Stone and Johns. They've got a stranglehold here on game number 1. 9-3-1. That ball's called out. We see now K.Yates switching things up. He's now playing on the right side of the court with the Farias forehand in the middle. Perhaps he was not liking the result of those cross-court battles with A.Stone on the backhand side. There you go. Again, that ball goes off the top of the net, sits up a little bit higher, giving J.Farias a chance to hit down on it. Yates serving 3-9-1. Yates needs to get the ball lower if he's going to be able to come forward. Can't do it. Colin Johns wisely hits the ball hard at the player who's closest to him. we made a video once that people often refer to as truck and bus. And that explains the principle that all things being equal, if you're going to hit the ball hard, you should hit it at someone who's closer to you. That's often the down the line person because they'll have less time to react. 3-9-2. Good wide serve by Farias. Opens up a cross-court opportunity for Yates. J.Farias serving. That's that attacking backhand we talked about from Yates. And there's the little roller. Here's back to the pattern that has worked well for A.Stone in the past. He's going to try to go back to it until it doesn't work anymore, or until they get the high ball to attack. Backhand overhead smash from A.Stone. That's something quite different you'll see from many of the rec players at home is often when they get lobbed, especially on the backhand side, they will elect to turn and run and chase it from a really defensive position. A.Stone doesn't want to let that ball get past him. And even though it's backhand, he can attack on that side when it's high. Yates was sitting on that forehand, ready to counterattack. Does a good job of hitting not just hard, but also down. Offensive lob from Yates. Stone gets back to it. Feels like he should have made that shot. It was a good tactical decision, but poor execution. If you're enjoying this live stream brought to you by Pro Pickleball Media, please hit that share button. That way other people can see it as well. We're at 268 viewers. I'd love if we could get this over 300 by the end of this match. So let's hit that share button, whether they're your pickleball friends or your pickleball foes. I'm sure they'd like to get in on the action here from the PPA Grand Slam qualifier in Mesa, Arizona. 9-4-1. A.Stone trying to add to his lead. A.Stone there ready to counterattack off that backhand side. This is something you'll see as matches develop. Players start to read a little bit more what their opponents are doing, and that sets up a game point here. Stone and Johns looking to take game number one with power. So that ball goes into the net. I expect we're going to see more of the same here, looking to take it to Farias and Johns and Yates. A lot of spin on that return of serve from Farias. K.Yates, so inventive on the pickleball court. Quick enough to step outside, use that forehand, even though he was in the green part of the court, and really selling it. He's going to go one direction, instead goes the other. Stefan Boyland, I'd love if you help us hit 1,000 viewers out here. Everyone else, just hit that share button. It's the easiest way to make it happen. There's that counterattack from A.Stone, handled well. It's a good overhead smash. A.Stone climbs the ladder and is able to hit that ball on a downward trajectory. Impossible for Yates to defend. He checks the ball to make sure it's not broken. He'd love if it was. It'd be a replay. Meanwhile, we've got a game point here. Colin Johns driving at Farias. That ball goes just wide. C.Johns, A.Stone, they take game number 1 in this best 2 out of 3 match. We're going to be back more here for game number 2 from Mesa at the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier. All right, and we're back live here in Mesa, Arizona. You're looking at championship court here, where C.Johns and A.Stone took game number 1 in this main draw match. With that forehand drive, that ball goes long. That's going to be a side out. C.Johns can take over serving. I mentioned earlier that we had made a video previously about the decision making about whether to hit down the line or cross court when you're at the net. I called it truck and bus. You'll see why. I just posted that video in the comments section here, so you can take a look at that when it's convenient. And you can see how right or not I was as we watch these pro matches all day here, the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier in Mesa. K.Yates serving. A.Stone so solid with that return. It opened up an opportunity for a drop volley, and that's what C.Johns was trying to do there. Just catches the top of the net. There is a little bit of wind right now. It's blowing into the face of Stone and Johns. Here we see Yates and Stone going at one another again, this time straight ahead rather than cross court. That ball's called just wide. C.Johns is gonna make sure. Pickleball is, of course, a game of inches, or if you're playing in Canada or many other parts of the world, a game of centimeters. 2-0-2, K.Yates serving to A.Stone. K.Yates anticipating that attack. Able to step out of the way, and that ball just barely catches. Talked about the spin that Yates likes to use on those volleys, whether it's forehand or backhand. 3-0-2. Great defense from Farias. Look at him reset that ball low enough that they can come forward safely. J.Farias going for the sick trick, the diving around the bow shot, not quite there. There we go. Great defense. One of the things we've talked about over the last couple of days here in Mesa is how important it is when you're playing at the line to expect the ball to come back and come back with speed. If you can do that, you give yourself a fighting chance at being able to counterattack. As we see Joey jumping the corner, getting that ball closer to the net than he would have been able to if he was staying back behind the non-volley line. A.Stone looking for the counterattack. First drive well handled by Farias. He gets the ball low enough that that second drive doesn't have a chance to stay in if it's hit that rapidly. 3-1-1. A.Stone, great job of knowing when not to hit that ball. Did an interview with A.Stone earlier this year about his style of play. You'll see when he's up at the net, he stands quite upright. And really with his paddle pretty low, sort of around knee height. I'll see if I can throw up that podcast for you if you want to listen to it. And he talked about the importance of being a little bit lower, having a lower center of gravity, making it easier to move. J.Farias does a good job of that 1-2 punch, going hard at the Stone backhand, and as that ball sits up high on the forehand. Nice exchange at the net there. Yates and Johns end up on the right side of things. 3-2-2. K.Yates trying for the lob. We said earlier that the wind is blowing into the faces of Stone and Johns. That contributed to that lob going a little bit deeper than he would have liked. I just put up the link there. You can see that's the interview I did with A.Stone about his so-called weird ready position. Of course, you're not going to want to listen to that while we're watching this great action here. But, you know, save it for a rainy day or whatever. Colin Johns, wish he could have saved that. Forehand into the net. Farias and Yates talking to each other about needing to hit that ball. And usually what they'll hear when they say hit that is that they mean got to hit it harder. That ball's there for the taking. Got to attack when you have the opportunity, especially against players the caliber of Yates, Stone, and Johns. That's the way to hit it. Say hi to Cynthia Vortman, who's watching from St. Petersburg, Florida, by way of Ancaster, Ontario. And if you're also watching on this live stream and you want to let us know you're here, first thing to do is hit that share button so other people can see it, and then send us a little comment. Say hi. 3-4-2. Ball goes just a little bit out again. Yates and Farias. Just a little bit off right now. They came off of a 3-game win. I'm going to put up the draw in a second so you can see where these players came from. Just posted the bracket there at pickleballtournaments.com. Click on that. You can see the whole bracket for the men's pro event. John's not able to put away that backhand overhead. But he does come out on top after that. A quick exchange at the net against Farias. 5-3-2 is the score. Stone serving. That ball goes through the middle and stays in. Nicely placed by Yates. In tight to that forehand hip. We've talked a number of times about how tough it is to defend from that position. 3-5-1. Say hi to Brandon Hubschman, who's joined the stream. Great pickleball player. Excellent singles player as well. Caitlin Renison is watching. K.Yates hits that ball that would have gone, A.Stone hits that ball that would have gone a mile out. Hits it anyway, and that ball goes off of Farias' paddle into the body of Yates. Caitlin Renison, of course, no relation to your friendly neighborhood broadcaster. That's not true. She's my sister. Big pickleball fan. Steve Norman's watching. Love watching these players when you can see the contrast between the power game that they're all so good at, as well as the touch that they can show here. As that ball comes into the broadcast booth one more time. Yates and Stone going toe-to-toe on the cross-court backhands, and A.Stone coming out on top. In that case, because he attacked down the line at Farias, and that ball went up too high. One of the tricks to playing those cross-court dinks is hitting that ball cross-court enough that it moves your opponent, that it exposes the shot you want to expose, but not hitting it too far that it gets out wide enough to open up an around the post opportunity, which these pros are always on the lookout for. Hey, I'm happy to report we've now hit our 300 viewers. That's great. That was our first goal. I'm not sure what the prize is, but I guess the prize is more people get to enjoy this great pickleball action here at the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier in Mesa. We're going to go to a quick break here, a hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. We're going to be back with more here from Mesa.
I got your new paddle.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Could you sign it?
Yeah, I signed all those.
That's not your signature.
That is indeed my signature.
But I did not see you sign it myself, personally.
Okay.
Maybe just a...
All right, we're back live here on Championship Court. The number 6 seeds, they're in the lead. They're up a game and 7-4 against the number 3 seeds, K.Yates and J.Farias. And with that, there's another point, 8-4. Farias and Yates in danger of being knocked down into the losers bracket here. Stone and Johns going to try to step on the gas here, finish things off if they can. Great defense from Johns. A.Stone puts that ball away, and they're fired up. Yates not happy with himself. Decision making on some of those balls looked like they may have gone out. That ball goes off of Stone and into Johns. Give you a quick heads up. Next match coming up on this court, you're going to like this one. It's another Johns. This time it's going to be Ben Johns, along with his partner Matt Wright, who won the mixed doubles yesterday, along with Dave Weinbach and Steve Deacon. It's going to be another thriller of a match coming up. That's going to be a side out. Farias and Yates got the stop they needed. You can see the stands getting packed out here right now. 4-9-1. Yates and Farias looking to come back here. Would love to send this to a third game. (5-9-1). Farias and Yates looking for a cross-court drive. Instead, he goes down the line. Joey Farias trying to defend. Can't quite get that ball back over the net. 5-9-2. Perfectly placed by Johns, right at the feet of Yates. Would have been good for Yates if the ball was a bit deeper. He could have volleyed the ball out of the air, or a bit shorter where he would have had a little room to let the ball bounce. Instead, Johns found the perfect spot. They're serving at 9-5. That ball goes just long, and that's going to set up match point, folks. A.Stone, Colin Johns looking to move on to the next. And that ball goes into the net. Colin Johns, A.Stone with the upset victory here. Yates and Farias, they're not done. They're going to go into the loser's bracket, and they're going to have to fight their way back if they want to contend for a medal and some money. Meanwhile, we already mentioned the next match coming up. Number 1 seeds, Ben Johns and Matt Wright, taking on Dave Weinbach and Steve Deacon, who are the number 4 seed. This is going to be a doozy of a match coming up. We're going to take a quick break, pay a few bills, and we're going to be back here more PPA Grand Slam Qualifier from Mesa, Arizona.